Hello and welcome back to another casual night chit chat show. Now, before we begin, a little bit of housekeeping. All right, first thing, game is on. Yes. Drop is done. Yes, live. Okay, not live. It's done. Okay. Next up is turn on brawlers. Ugh. I haven't turned on yet, so that's that. And what else? What else? What else? What else? What else do I need to do today? Okay, today's topic. We don't really have much of a game. Oh, you know what? Let's change a little bit. I don't want to say too much negative, like don't have, uh, did not do it type of thing. No. Today we're gonna talk a little bit about Web3. Oh boy, there's a bug in my house. How did you get in? How? How? You know what? Later. I will deal with the bug later, not today. I don't have anything. How? Okay, I am baffled. I'm baffled because I don't have anything open, and that's a bug. Right now it's annoying. Right now it's in my head, so that's a problem. Yeah. Okay, let's see. What do we have? No, I still need to um what do you call this? Prepare all my stuff. Yeah. Okay, so Brawlers is on. Check. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Ta-da! Yeah, no, the bug really messes me up a little bit today. No, no bueno. No bueno. Okay. So what we want to do today is we're gonna talk a little bit about Web3 and how I want to not to say how I want to tackle, because how I want to tackle is also another thing. But we want to do something else, and that is we want to get the definition per se. Hey there, Brichter, welcome to the stream. Uh, what do you call this? Uh, oh dear, I lost my train of thought. No, not say lost my train of thought. We want to get the internet's description of a Web3 definition. Yeah. We want to get the internet's definition, and then we want to go through some of the things. Obviously, there are few things on the Web3 side. It is like to me, I would say it's just not working. All right, that's for sure. It's not gonna work. And not to say it's not gonna work. We have tried it and it's not working. Yeah. That's what I'm gonna say. We have tried it and it's not working. So some things we can um, let it go per se. 8-7 opener, haha. And also today is Thursday and it is a community tournament. No, it's not a tournament. Community night. I'm gonna call it a community night because tournament technically it is a tournament per se, but it's not really a tournament. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna say. Technically, it is a tournament, but it's not really a tournament. So it is a community match night. They call it bracket racket, right? Full. Oh, I could have got you with a 3-1, right? Oh, I could have got you with a 3-1. Yeah, it's bracket racket. They call it bracket racket instead. I think that's it. Ah, really? Got nothing? I'll play 3-4. I want to do 4-3. Alright, 2-4. You know what? We should play a little bit more aggressive. We should play a little bit more aggressive. We should play 3-1. In my opinion, we should play 3-1. That's for sure. Jobber will call me if this is a 2-5 or a 2-6. Easy 2-7 will call for sure. 2-8 no brainer. I would say it straight. 2-8 no brainer. 2-7 okay-ish. 2-4. Wow. Wow. That's a nice one. That's a juicy one. Now we can cycle. We can afford to cycle. If we got a big no, we can afford to cycle. Yeah, we can afford to cycle. Let's play 3-4 again. We're gonna fold. We're gonna fold. Jobber might try to flex this round. Yeah, Jobber might try. Might try. Okay, punch in. One, we got at least a bit more wiggle room, although 1718 will just crush us straight up. And 17. That's the reason why I say we can cycle. Yeah. The 3-4. Almost. I lost by 1 point. I lost by 1 point, unfortunately. And Jobber has a ooh. Ooh. Really? I have to play this hand? I want to play this hand. I want to play this hand. I'm gonna fold. I'm gonna fold. Unfortunately, I could on one hand yeah. Ooh, close, so close, so close. Jobber, yeah, like I said, Jobber might try to no, last hand didn't last hand was a flex. Yeah. That's why I was like, dang it. Okay, we can play this. 5-8, 5-8 might not be the best play though. Hard play. Go for it. Get some damage. Ooh, I got you. I got you. I got you. Cha-ching. Technically we kind of have the bag already, so we should fold, okay? If we don't see a 7-8, we should fold. Yes, we should fold. Don't risk it. Don't risk it for the biscuit. Although we can play like a 5-8, but no. Yeah, it's 7. Yeah, I'll let you go. Flex. Please flex. Yeah, I'll let you go. That's it. Because we can write. We can write. We don't want to go too offensive because we have an 8. We have half the bag, like I said. Unless Jobber has an 8-8. GG. 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 Moi. It is moi. It is I with an 8-8. Hey there, Lou. Welcome to the stream. Alright. Actually, I forgot to check. How many people do we have? How many people? Against Brichter. We're gonna play hyper aggressive then. We're gonna play hyper aggressive. Against Brichter, I cannot play the thinking game. That's for sure. Against Brichter, I cannot play the thinking game. It's not to say I'll be too sweaty, so might so just let the card decide. Flex whenever we have a power card. Okay. Yeah. Because on one end. No. Don't think too much. Don't think too much. I'll let it I'll let the what decide. I will let. Okay. Since we're gonna let the AI decide for me per se, and let's start off with a straight away 7-8. Let's start off with the number one thing on the Web3 definition. All right, let's get on to the Web3 definition according to Google. Okay, 2. Yeah, you're not gonna call me out. Go away. Shoot. Fall. Please fall. Please. Wow, you want to rope? Wow. But it's Brichter's ammo. Okay, this is Brichter's ammo. He will rope. Brichter will always rope. It is part of the strategy. I cannot be upset about it, but it's like, come on. Yeah, for one flex. What would Brichter play? Would Brichter play 5-4? Yeah, for our challenge. Easy challenge. Easy challenge. 5 maybe a bit harder for me. Yeah, 5 a bit harder. I have 4-8, so technically, if I play 4-8, Brichter would fall, so might as well just play 4-1. Like I said, high risk. High risk. 4-1 versus 4-1. Cha-ching! Wait a minute. Why would you call? Why would you call that hand? That's a question though. That's a question. Why would you call that hand? Alright. That I'm curious, why would you call a 4-1 on a 4-1? I mean, no, if you have 4-1 you call, yeah, no, it makes no sense. Makes no sense. Yeah, this one makes sense. Yeah, not say I don't understand. I don't see the reason. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. I'm gonna say straight up, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe break the press 3 as well? No, break the call. Hmm. Like I said, don't think too much. Don't even bother to think. Wow, really? Mirror to mirror? Sadly, Brickler is building up his hand, so I'm gonna get squished. Yeah, pretty soon if. Oh, okay, 1 point challenge. I was like, look at see like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. This makes more sense. That makes more sense. Although I am in a not say good position. Ooh. 2-1. I want to play 8-1. Truth be told, I want to play 8-1, but this could be a fat hand. I'll fold. This is the one that I'll fold because I was about to say I don't really have a strong hand. Yeah, okay, 3-8. Yeah, I have a feeling. This is what I was feeling. I was like thinking like 2-8. Can my 2-8 defeat a 3? It's like, chances are, not saying very low. It's like, oof, indeed. Oof, indeed. Sadly, sad. Oh no, I was about to say sadly sad. Power meter and card still belongs to Brichter, so I am in a deficit. We don't have a power card. I could do 5-8. I could do 5-8. Okay, this is a good question. I want to test out because Brichter might try to flex this hand and move on to the next round. One, yeah, no. I was about to say, Brichter might try to flex this hand, move on to the next round, and then play a strong hand. 5, I am at 15. No, 5, 5. Ugh, don't like this hand. Probably I'll just chip some. No, no, no. Answer is no. Answer is this. Answer is a flex regardless. I could try to punch in. There we go. That's the reason. Although it's not a power card. I was looking just now. I played 5-5 to 5-5 to a 7-7. So no. Yeah, I think that's the reason why Brichter doesn't have any incentive to do so. Again, there's no incentive for me to play 5-8, 0. Brichter could play something like this, and I was thinking, okay, you know what? It is a good time for Brichter to flex anyway. Put a 2 to pressure me? Yeah, it's alright. I flexed. Yeah, 5. Even I played 5-8 so I will go GG as well. So that's the reason why I play 5-3. That's the only reason to there's no other reason to play other hand. That's the reason why I say against Brichter for me, just play according to AI. Yeah, that's it. Don't think too much. Because it's a very weird thing I have been I'm not saying I cannot explain, but it's everything going. Brichter is like my roadblock, which is annoying. Yeah. Not to say it's hard. It is. Although Brichter is a better player, so that's 1 plus point for that. Right? 1 minus point for me. So that's the reason why I don't think too much. Right? Too sweaty. I don't enjoy it at all. That's one main reason. That's about it. That's about. Oh, I just realized. Participant. Oh yeah, Lou is playing. Yeah, I knew I saw Lou somewhere. I was just curious. Like, where's Lou on the line? Okay, while waiting for, let me put a code out. All right, so the Web3, let's start off with the Web3 definition while we are on. There wasn't any downtime though. One thing nice about double elim is there's no downtime in a way, so I think that's the reason why. Okay, so Web3. Web3 is the concept of a new decentralized iteration of the internet that uses blockchain technology to shift control from a large corporation to individual users. Now, there is a few things that is not working, unfortunately. There we go. Put up the code. All right, so that's that. We're gonna talk a little bit like my experience and the whole entire, yeah, basically my perspective and my experience for the whole Web3. And I think because of that, either on one end we are not ready for it, as in the technology is not mature enough in a way, right? So that's one. But we're gonna put a pin on that for now. We're gonna concentrate on, no, not say concentrate on this game, but we want to concentrate a little bit on this game. Yeah, as I get a little bit more, so a bit more definition from the interweaves. Yep. So because there are one or two things I think we are hyper focused. I'm gonna call it out. We are in one or two things we are too hyper focused on it, and that's not to say that's not wrong, but that's the part where when people want to abuse, that's the avenue to abuse, and that is a little bit painful. Okay, a little bit painful for some of that. 7-7 versus 7. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. But at the same time, the question is, why call it a Web3, right? That is a good question. Why call it a web challenge? Challenge. Straight up challenge. That's, I mean, you have to have 3-7, 3-8. With that hand that I've put out, you better have good hands. And it's two, I mean, the knight is young, right? Nice power meter on my side. HP 25. All right, 3-hand versus 3-hand. Now I can just ride it out. All right, pull a 7-8, and then let's see if my opponent wants to call. Fold is a good choice. Now I'm in a good zone. I can fold. Technically, I can fold indefinitely. Technically, which we should. Right? What we do is we should. GG. This is just bad matchup. Bad RNG for you, jobber. Great RNG for me. 8-8 to the 8-8. Show me 8-8. 8-8. 8-6. GG. 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 All right. Uno to me. Okay. So let's see. All right. Now, before we go too much deep yet, before we go in a little bit more, let's take a look, right? Web 1.0, first version of the web. Web 2.0, the current internet, which is interactive and user generated, but data is largely controlled by a few large company. And it is true. According to that definition, it is true. But what is the difference between a Web 3 and a Web 2? Because on one end, blockchain it's literally useless if the internet goes down. Literally. Yeah. If we do not have an internet, then Web3 is just. So what's the difference between decentralizing? On paper, it makes quite a lot of sense. That's the reason why I explore a little bit. All right, on paper is I own a set of digital data. But the problem as of now, right? The technology that we have, that data, that code, that bunch of code is literally meaningless if we don't have an infrastructure. So for example, for the blockchain, the blockchain just exists if the yeah, it just exists. So which is interesting. And the question is who store that data? That's a good question though. Who store the blockchain data? As in the chain. Who control? Not saying who controls the chain, but where the chain is kept. If you know what I mean. It's like a land. No, it's so to give an easier analogy is if you have a land and you build buildings, now you have building ownership, great. But if I take away the land, if the land literally belongs to someone else, then you only own the house. And if you want to take the house and put somewhere else, you need to put on the land. So where does it go? Right? If land is non-existent, that's how I take it. So with that, let's close this guy up, and let's go to the first problem for Web3 straight up. Okay, and that is the chain itself. It's not about ownership, it's about where it's supposed to exist. Because you need a server to handle the chain, to calculate all those crazy algorithms. Yep, unless you're going to write on a piece of paper and then you cross-check from a piece of paper, a different medium that is not internet or computer. Actually, even if it's a computer, then that's yeah. It has to be a different, like you need a different medium in a way. So that's that. So that is our number one. I'm not say problem, that's our number one. Oh, we have Lou. All right, so I'll let Lou get up. I mean, I'll code. I will go. I think Lou coded up. All right, I'm gonna chat a little bit on the side. All right, I'm gonna code up. All right, there we go. Code has been sent. Where was I? You know what? We're gonna put a pin on that. Okay, so we already established Web3 according to the internet. We identify one key issue, but that's not the main issue. One key issue. Yeah, it's basically just a question on it. Yeah, I'll do this. Against Lou, yeah, let's loosey-goosey a little bit. Punch in 5. The reason is because I saw a 5. If it's like a 6, hard to punch in. 4 is easy. 3 I'll be upset. 3 I'll be upset. All right, next up. Not a good hand, but I'll play a 5-5. Not a good hand. No, okay, I won't say not a good hand. It's a bit hard to punch. Oh, it became a good hand at the end. It became a good hand. 1-8 is 1-1. Yeah, no, not gonna fly. Not gonna fly. 1-1. No. You would not fly with a 1-1 against my 5-5. If I play 5-2, I'll be sad. If I play 5-1, 5-3, oh, it's a bit painful though. It's a little bit wee painful. I want to play. You know what? Let's stick it. I want to play 3-7, but 3-7 might not be the not saying not the best play. Oh, it's 6-8. 8. That hand I'm okay with it. Alright. If I see a 6-6, that's a little painful. That's a little bit painful. That's a little. Yeah, punch in. You gotta have a 1-7, 1-8. Yeah. Punch in. Although if I play a 4-1, Lou might try to get back to me. Right. That's one thing I can say. Lou would try to find a way to get back at me. You know what? I'll keep this 8. I'm gonna play 2-4, and can I guess this is a flex? 6, a little bit high chance, but I'm gonna fold. And yeah, a little bit high chance, right? I did say little bit high chance. I unfortunately, the unfortunate part, because I'm more on the side of um oh, this is gonna be tough. Okay, this is gonna be tough. I think I should follow up with a 6-8. Punch in, punch in. Oh no, no! I lost by 1 point. Because I was thinking, if I were to flex, can I punch in? It's like no, 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 gee, no, no. I did not. I did I? Oh, it's the one that I say high chance of flexing. That's it. That was the hand. That was the only hand. Oh my goodness. I was so fixated on folding. Oh my goodness. I was so asphyxiated from there. But then again, I did play the correct hand. I did play the correct hand 2-4 to anticipate a flex, and I did say high chance of flexing, but I fold. Ugh. Ugh. The other two hand, let's see. No, the other two hand is not it's not sick. Nope. Let's play fast games. Yeah, I was about to think, like, can I get away with one hand? Probably one hand I could get away. The last hand, because the last hand it was like, okay, it's too good. Not say it's too good to be true. It's like after a flex, and normally after a flex I would like to do a counter flex. Then if but most of the cases, once you do a flex, you want to follow up with a nice strong hand, or a flex again. Or a flex. The thing is, because that last hand, what it not saying no incentive, it was literally a lethal hand. If I were to call a tree, that's why you push a tree over there. Smart, good pressure, but I decided to call out, even though even though if there's no pressure. Yeah, sweet. Okay, so all right, so we are done with this for now. I probably have one or two. Probably I've one more game. Feels like I have probably have one more game. Feels. Okay, so back to the topic, Web3. So we already have one key, not say issue, but one key issue, right? Which is the chain itself. Next up, all right, next up is the one that I think is the most abused. Unfortunately, no matter how you see it, it will be abused. And that is not the decentralization. The decentralization in general doesn't really matter in the long run, truth to be told, because the first question is decentralized data storage. The first problem with that line itself is the chain. Like, who will keep the chain running? Because if the chain goes down, that's it. Some people will say, oh, you know what, blockchain will never like disappear. It's like true, but the upkeep, the maintenance, the upkeep, there must be a server to run. So anyway, that's that. I'm not gonna go too deep, because like I said, it's not mature yet. Okay, so the next part is the buzzword, I'm gonna call it, right? The decentralization buzzword. On paper, it should work, not say flawlessly, it should work how it's supposed to work. Okay, nobody know who is who, what is what. The only difference is authentication. And because of this, all right, because of the part where nobody knows who is who, and one key word that they did not write over here is unreversible. That is a very important thing, right? Once it's validated, it is a one-way street. So that is the first thing that a lot of people must understand, because how the chain work and because of how decentralization work. It is a one-way street. Even though you finally manage to find out, oh, you own this line of code, you cannot take it back because you validated it. Or a handshake, which is the most painful lesson in every blockchain project and stuff. And people will abuse it. How people will abuse it is via what do you call this? Not say scam. Yes, they are part of scam via okay. It's I thought I had a nicer word for it, but basically via a scam, and because there's no authentication in it. Okay, I think I found. I'm gonna explain the sentence rather than a word. Because of how validation works at the moment, it is not to say it is simple, but it is something that people are not used to it yet. It's the same goes with like in the credit card and whatnot, right? Get your tag, get your validation number, get whatever code you need, send it to your phone, punch in the code, and then you transfer. Boom, done. All right. However, with the decentralization, it makes it even worse. Even though if you know the air quote the owner is, because that's the key thing on decentralization, right? It's a double-edged sword. So that's one painful thing. Okay. So that's, but because of the validation and the decentralization, unfortunately I have to use that few buzzword a little bit more, right? Because of validation and decentralization, that's where you can kind of draw the line of air quote ownership. Because what's the difference between a legit ownership and an ownership that you kinda, okay? I'm gonna use the word kinda because if you even though you press a bad link, you pressed it, so there is an action. And false ownership, I would call it. What's the difference between those two things? And goes back to point number one, decentralization. Yeah, so it's a bit painful, like I do have to admit, but is the con outweighs the pro? Now this is the fun bit. Because of digital because you cannot own a digital asset in a way where how you own a physical item. So blockchain, in my opinion, at the moment, because of the validation, it is one of the best way to authenticate without bias. That's one of the key thing that a lot of people like about the decentralization, because Google can just change ownership even though it's yours, right? They just say, all right, you know what, the items in your account, that's not yours anymore, we confiscate. So that's one. Where decentralization, you cannot, because unless the only thing is unless people admit to it, okay, and then even that, can you even take it away? Because the person can just transfer to another account and that's it. That's it. So that's one thing. All right. So currently, because of a few, not say loopholes, because there are few things that we cannot control, it's a little bit painful over there. But that's where the abusiveness, right? Player behavior, not say player behavior, human behavior. Yeah. So unfortunately, we don't have enough. I think that's the main reason why we do not have enough to counter the bad, I would call it the bad actors and bad player behavior. So that's that, right? And last but not least, right, I will definitely touch a little bit about token, not tokenomics, because tokenomics, in truth, after going through all of this thing already, plus meme coin and whatnot, I dare say tokenomics is a lie. Yeah, because it still operates in the first key thing, supply and demand. The problem with that is tokenomics, okay, the cryptocurrency and tokenomics not just controlled by supply and demand, but it also controls by inflation. And because it's in a Web3, okay, not Web3, I cannot use the word Web3 for this. Because it is in the internet age, everything is lightning fast. So that means inflation can go all the way up to from a value to no value, and it can also go from no value to value. Point in case, Bitcoin. It went from nobody cares to, you know what, probably we can use it as a simple transaction currency, and now it's like, can it be equal? Can it equal? No, can it be compared to gold? Back then, probably people want to compare it to gold. Now it's different. Can it still compare to gold in a way? Digital gold, close enough, right? The only difference is it's volatile, right? Now, that is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is one of those coins where it's like, okay, you know what? It has value and it still retain value. Ethereum, same thing as well, all right? Not so valuable, but it still retain a value in a way. However, what about meme coins? Let's take Doge, for example. It goes up and down crazy. Yes, goes up and down very, very crazily, which is, yeah, not good, right? Very, not good if you want to use it, which goes to my next point. Game economy. You can't use an economy or I won't say currency. You cannot use an economy that is based on a real world economy and expect it to work the same. Because when hyperinflation gets in, that's where the whole economy tanks. Point in case, real world, right? Real world. If you take a look at, let's say, some of the top currencies out there, okay? So US dollar obviously is I will call it the world standard at the moment. Other countries try to make their currency as the world standard. Yes, there are stronger currencies out there, right? That's stronger than US, technically. For example, British pound. Is Euro stronger than USD? USD, let's check. Yeah, Euro is slightly stronger than, not say stronger, value, right? Higher value than US dollar, right? It's 1 to 1.7. So we have stronger currency out there, but US dollar has been the baseline. And where am I getting is that what is other currency out there that is hyperinflated? I think Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe dollar to USD. All right. One Zimbabwe is 0.0031. Okay, not so bad. What about Indonesian? Indian? No, not in Indonesian. Indonesian is not so bad, right? Wow, 1600. No, 16,000 for $1. Yeah, look at that. So that's yeah, Indonesian rupiah. What about yen? No, not yen. China. RMB. Yeah, RMB to USD. What is the conversion? 1 to 1.4. Okay, not so bad. Right, one Chinese yuan to $0.14. All right, not so bad. So Indonesia is quite bad. The amount of zeros we need. So unfortunately, in tokenomics, it will be even worse. I'm gonna say straight, it will be even worse. So case in point, real world, right? So you, not to say you can't really use it in that case. If you were to use it to compare to stable currency, I'm gonna say stable currency, then your game, the problem with game economy is that you need the game economy to move around. Yeah, without that, it's useless. And for games, right, especially for Web3 games, right, I'm gonna go get to the point already. For Web3 games, if you were to use the in-game currency as a no, if you were to use tokens for the game currency, I'm gonna say straight up, after seeing so many projects that implement this idea, all of them failed. It failed because hyperinflation sets in. Ah, yeah. And what is hyperinflation before we go too far? Right, very important. Hyperinflation. All right, just to put it on the record. All right, hyperinflation is a rapid, excessive, and out of control general price increase in little price increase in an economy. So, for example, I'm going to use wax. What is the wax to US dollar? Okay, so wax is 0.01. Ooh. One wax p is 10, it's 1 cent. Ooh. Not so painful, but still painful. Ooh. Let's see. 1 year. What has 1 year? Wow. Wow. It's going down. It's going down, down, down. Painful. Painful. Wax is down bad. Yep. Yep. Wax is down bad. There we go. Hyperinflation. Yeah. Whatever you own back then, let's say a dollar's worth of wax, now it's like 1 cent, 10 cent, right? You basically lose 10x. And then the problem, okay, so this is the problem. Because of hyperinflation, therefore you need to change the game economy. If let's say the game used to reward you, let's say 10 tokens last year, right? When wax was like maybe 1 to 1. All right, let's use this way. Okay, if wax, when you play the game, when wax is 1 to 1, nothing happens, right? Everything go as normal. And then today, if you were to whatever item slash currency you hold, back then today, that's and wax is like 0.01 cent, you lose 100x. No, the thing is not because you lose 100x. Now the problem is the game, everything in the game is 100x lousier, less value. And then if you were to do an activity, let's say you play to earn or play to own, you need to do 100 times more effort. And I can tell you, gamer or not, nobody's gonna be bothered. All right, nobody's gonna be bothered because of the 100x effort. Now, some people can say, hey, you know what, you can change the game's economy, everything just boost up, boost down. But that doesn't solve the main problem. You're still basing your currency on the tokenomics. So tokenomics in general, I would say it's not say it's a failure, but in general right now it's a failure. I have to admit it is a failure. The tokenomics part. Okay. Now, to close things up just a little bit, right? Not everything is doom and gloom, okay? So don't worry about it. I mean, I should worry, you should worry too, because if you buy, not say you buy too much, we need to worry because if anyone else were to base their economy via tokenomics, that's just not good in general. So tokenomics have to be used in a different way. You know what? Scratch that. I cannot use the word tokenomics. Tokens, basically the currency, the blockchain currency. So I'm going to use the word token. The token has to be in a way whereby you can allow trading. All right, I'm going to draw this line. Okay, you can kind of allow trading in a way, but then again, it needs to be a cap to begin with. That means everything has to be like let's say if you have 1 million token, well, the 1 million token has to be out and that's it. You don't want to introduce like, okay, we're going to release one, if let's say your cap is 1 billion, and then says, okay, we're going to put 1 million token out, and then we're going to slowly saturate the economy via playing the game or not. The answer is no. Okay, the answer is no. That's not the best way. I think some game try to do it a little bit differently. Some of it has a little bit of success, which is cool. Woofy, all right, so we touch a little bit about Woofy, and I think this is the part where they did a little bit better in general. Not the best case, but a little bit better. So what we want to do is let's check Woofy's cap token. Woofy token has a maximum supply cap of 100 trillion. Okay, so what about the circulation at the moment? All right, so circulation supply is at 82 trillion. Okay, that's cool. That is cool, because what you want to do in a way is you don't want to keep any of the you don't want to hold back the supply. You want to just, here, everything is out, right? Everything is out, and that's about it. You want to have, okay, so it's like a reverse thing. You want to reduce over time rather than putting it out over time. That's the first best, I would say currently, right? Currently, that's the best implementation, because if you don't have a cap, or rather, if you, for example, if your cap is 100 trillion and you only you only put out 1 trillion, then the other 99, it kind of will devalue over time. Okay, so you want to put everything out, and then you find a stable value from there, and then you work your way up. I mean, you work the value up. Now, and there goes to the second part. 100 trillion, that's too much. That's too much. Personally, I would say to keep everything nice and sort of a little bit in a nicer loop, probably 1 billion. Even 1 billion I feel is a bit too much. 1 million is like a good starting point to test out in a way. But I do understand why they put I do understand why 1 billion is a little bit better, right? 1 trillion, think we are going a little bit too much. Because you want the value to go the other way around, and the other way around is because once everyone has, once the token is all distributed, there's no air quote reserve, then now you can start doing your thing called burning, if you want to burn. Okay, personally, I don't think you should burn. That's the reason why I don't like high cap tokens for games. Okay, the next part is people would like to do trading. Unfortunately, that's the all right, so I'm gonna touch this. All right, if you're gonna use the token for games, I would like it not to be tradable. That's what I'm gonna say. I would like it not to be tradable. Unfortunately, Chinese gold farmer, Indian gold farmer, any gold farmer out there will definitely try to gobble up as much as they can, and they slowly let it out. That's one of the big reasons why I like to say, you know what? Just put everything out. Put everything outside. As in, if you manage to get the big pile, you manage to get the big pile. All right. So now it becomes whoever can hold the longest. And of course, next up, obviously, utility. Right? No matter how you go back and forth, you still need utility. That goes without saying. Unfortunately, that's where the problem is. All right. When you play the game, you expect a currency in return. In true cases, if that's the case, all right, why do you play a game? Why do you play a game? Might as well just work. So it becomes a work. So that's where the line has been drawn. Why gamers don't really care? Because if I want a job, I get a job. That's as simple as it is. But I have to give a little bit of credit to people who don't have access to not say to better currency. Like for example, one of the few countries that really benefit from the Web3, right? The crypto and Web3, especially Axie Infinity and whatnot, is I would dare say countries like Indonesia, Philippines, India, basically uh, countries with I won't say hyperinflated currency, but yeah, you get the point. Hyperinflated currency. Currency, if they can earn in US dollar, they will do it, and it's crazy, right? It's crazy. That's the thing. So unfortunately, I don't really have an answer for that. And that will lead to our last topic, rather last point. How would I want to tackle this small little thing over here? And I would say, in fact, I would dare say I wouldn't want a token, right? I wouldn't want a token because token just makes things, it makes things with extra steps. No, in-game token. Basically in-game currency. I'm not bothered with in-game currency. It's basically just extra steps to get something. So that's annoying. So that's one. However, you still need a chain to get your validation of digital assets. So that unfortunately, you have to pick the best chain of your choice. And I would say having a multi-chain is one of the answer. I will admit, right? You can't just have one chain. You need multi-chain. One of the big reason is you want the asset to be transferable in various chain. And that goes back to the number one question as well, right? Which chain? And which chain, who owns what chain, who maintains what chain, and then when you call blockchain, you always have gas fee. Do you want to keep everything in Ethereum or Bitcoin, Wax, Polygon, Solana? Ugh. That's why I don't like about it. I really don't like that part. Whew. So I think that's that. All right. For now, I'm not bothered with anything token. I would love to, but because there is no way of making it a good way to do it, yeah, I'm just not bothered for now. So the next best thing is just make stuff, because I'm gonna close with this. If I want to make something value, the value has to begin with the product. Why? And what is the best what do you call this, analogy or reference to it? The answer is trading cards. Both trading card games and sports cards. If you want to put it, and comic books, basically on that old school collectible type of stuff. Because if you were to look at sports cards back then, right, if you get some of the cool and famous rookie cards, doesn't matter if it's football, baseball, hockey, and whatnot, back then the value is like 10 cents, 20 cents, maybe $1 or $2 for those sought after rookie cards. Today, millions. Crazy. And it's not all of them. It's not all of them. You have to also understand it's not all of them. And we also need to understand as well, not all trading card has value. It's only one or two certain ones. And the value is determined by the demand. That's it. That's really, really it. So for now, out of all the things, unfortunately, player behavior is a crutch. Yeah, it's a crutch and a problem for Web3. People will scam whenever they can scam. It's very sad. So, what does this mean for me? I will still continue to do what I like to do, which is create content and create a collection, a digital collection. The only difference is right now is that because I think multi-chain is important, I want to read up a little bit more. But before we go to multi-chain, I need to do one very most important thing, and that is to incorporate the blockchain to my game one way or the other. I need to do it. The only difference is you don't need to log in. Yeah, zero login needed. And because of that, there is no valid authentication and validation to access your wallet. Right? Basically, just input your wallet. It's basically just a read. That is one of the key thing I want to do. I want to separate a little bit, which I will explain a little. No, you know what? I have to explain today. Yeah, because if not, it makes no sense if I explain next time. So I want to have a, how do I put it this way? A distinctive difference between not say in-game assets, between your account, game account, and wallet. It's two separated item. Game account is very straightforward, like your typical game account, right? Your information, your character, everything is stored inside there. And your wallet will hold whatever digital assets that you purchase, or if you got it for free. No, not say for free. Basically, digital assets, and that's the part I need to explain a little bit, especially here. So, what is game assets and what is digital assets? Unfortunately, a lot of description out there is not too clear. That includes me as well. So I would draw this line. Game assets is game assets, right? Straightforward. So what's the difference between game assets and digital assets that you own on the chain? Is unfortunately at the moment it's a glorified JPEG. That is one huge problem for me. Unfortunately, right? It's just a glorified JPEG. And the only data you have it's the chain data. So do you really own the assets? In a way, the answer is actually no, you don't really own the asset, but you own the likeness of the asset, which is so is that really an ownership? In a way, it is still as well, because for example, I'm going to use a car. If you own a Ford or a Camaro or a GM, right, the car is yours. But is it your car as in the brand? No. But you still own the car. That's a big difference. And that's what separates between physical and digital ownership at the moment, which unfortunately I try my very best to put. Like, if you own a digital asset, my collection, you should be able to own some of the interactive thingy. So basically you should be able to play with the interaction, not say interaction, basically you should own yeah, that's the part I'm still trying to figure out. How do you own? How do you own? So the closest thing is you should own at least somewhat a 3D file in a way. In a way. Alright, I'm gonna say it straight. Yeah. You can own the mod. For example, you can own the 3D model. You can do whatever you want with the model, but but the IP is like still mine because I created it. But it makes no sense in that sense. Can you modify the model? Sure, because it's technically yours. Technically, because you can modify any car you want, right? You can modify a Ford to a Ferrari if you want to. It's still your car, right? The only difference is branding is kind of blurred in between. It's not really gray, it's not really black and white, but it's still yours. So that part we want to explore. And I really don't have an answer for now. The closest explanation or the closest thing that I can say is, for example, if you buy a game, the game is yours. You can the only thing that you cannot do for now, the one that I've read as much as I see so far, is that you cannot resell. But that is also another lawyer speak in a way, right? So I will explore a little bit more about that. And with that, that's all I have for you for today in terms of the topic. It's a loaded topic today, because one of the thing is I don't really, if you can't if you can't sell it, do you really own it? That's a very good question, Lou. That's a very good question. I'm gonna call it uh yeah okay, let me reword it. I think I know what you're trying to say, and I think I said it wrongly in a way as well. uh you should be able, see, that's the part, right? I have to stand on that that line. You know what, let's put it this way. You should be able to sell. You must be able to sell, because if you cannot sell it, you don't own it. Straight up. All right, I'm gonna stand on that. Even though, no, 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 I will scratch what I've said. Okay, because I was saying in the lines of you can't sell. Yeah, actually doesn't make sense for me as well. You know what? I will backtrack. Okay, you should be able to sell. Okay, let's draw it. No, you know what? Let's go for absolute. You should be able to sell because you should be able to own it. For example, if you buy any of my collection, even though it's free or whatnot, you own it 100%. Yeah. No, Luke, it's good. It's good because I have to stand. I have to stand on those words as well. Because there are a few, one or two things like for example, brand IP and the because I was talking. Okay, I just want to clarify a little bit. I was talking along the lines like you buy a Ford, you own the car, but you don't own the brand. That was my, and that was the reason why I said that. So to make things clearer and easier for the record is because it's digital, everyone will copy regardless. So I'm gonna stand with this. All right. How NFT has been working? The answer is you should be able to sell it regardless of what I said. Right? If you own a digital asset, you can do whatever you want. That includes selling. Okay, that's that. The only difference is I will just put this. This is lawyer speak again. Is that you cannot use. All right, I'm just wording it out loud. You cannot you cannot use it as your own brand. Yeah, I really I don't know how to word this correctly. So for example, can I can I buy, because this is the thing, like, can I resell a Disney product? The answer is technically you can. You can sell whatever you own, like whatever comic books you buy, you can sell it out. But can you call yourself an authorized Marvel, like for example, right, a Disney reseller? I think that's the word, right? You know what? It's way too complicated. I'm not gonna take too much time to make people confused and whatnot. But the ultimate line, it goes: if you own it, you can sell it straight up. The only the yeah, I'm not gonna go anywhere else. Right? If you own it, you can sell it. That is what I've been standing. I'm just going through a little bit on the, like, the IP ownership, like intellectual property ownership thingy. Like I said, it's a very like, for example, wrestling. Since all of us are in the wrestling team right now, okay? Can you sell? No, if you own a official WWE merchandise, right? You bought a merch. Of course you can sell. Right? That's a no-brainer. That's the most basic form of everything you can sell. Uh, but if you bought a WWE merchandise and then you manufacture it, right? You reverse manufacture and then you sell it. Is it allowed? So basically, whatever I want to say is, if you can do it on a physical product, on the digital, same, one to one. I'm gonna say that 1-to-1. Whatever laws we have on the physical side, digital side is the same. I don't know if this really makes sense, but at the bottom line is if you own it, you own it. You can sell it. You can do whatever you want. Yeah, I will stand with that. Okay. So that's what I want to clear up a little bit because there's too many things behind it. There's really too many things behind it. Like for example, you cannot, because on one end is because you own digital assets, can you make a game out of those digital assets? And then the answer is no, because you cannot make a Mickey Mouse, for example. Oh no, you know what? Let's use WWE wrestling. You cannot make another wrestling game and call it a WWE. You can call it a wrestling game. You can use the likeness of certain characters, but you have to be distinctive enough to say this is not that character, for example. That's for sure because I'm doing game dev and whatnot. I've read up a few rules on those. Like for example, if I want to buy digital assets, but those are the old school, not say old school, those are the non-decentralized kind of digital assets. I think that's the reason why people are getting, I would say conflicted, but it does create confusion. Point in case, what I've just said just now, earlier on. So yeah, you know what? I will stand on that, right? If you own it, you can do whatever you want. You can make profit out of it. You can sell it. The next question is, can you copy it, right? Can you copy and make it to your own chain and whatnot? Because that was exactly the same lawyer speak on the Bored Ape Yacht Club. You can use the NFT that you have bought. You can print T-shirt. You can do whatever you want as long you own it. But what happens if you don't own it anymore? What happened? How to evaluate and stuff like that. So the easiest answer I can give right now is, if whatever you can do to a physical product, the laws and everything applies the same to the digital side for now. Not say for now. Until something breaks, right? We will see what breaks. Okay, we will see what breaks. So yeah, I will stand on that line. Okay, if you own it, you can sell it. Yeah, I will stand on that. Okay, that will be on the record. And yeah, I don't think I want to go. I don't want to do not say don't want to do anything about it, but it is kind of a tricky thing though. I would say it's kind of a tricky thing. Yeah. Anyway, so that's that. Just to clear everything up. Yep. Okay. So with that heavy loaded topic, the one of the biggest things I really need to put that out, because I have one or two not say projects, but I have one or two thing in my mind. And number one is I want to implement it into my game. That's for sure. I want to try to implement to my game and try to do a different way of not say ownership, but at least if you own something, it makes a little bit more interesting to own. Yeah, actually, that's a very good question. Very good question. All right, anyway, I'm gonna put a pin. All right, we're gonna move on to the next part to close things up. All right, so far our game is good. I managed to model a small little mining thingy, a quarry. Probably just need a little bit detailing. So for this map, I just need a 10, which I actually no, I already have a 10. Yeah, I'll just create another 10, put it over here. That's for you to rest. I need to make a farm dirt tile for this guy, and for visual wise, the farming is done. Then probably the next part I'll move on is at least make some sound for it, like for example wood chopping sound. We want some harvest sound. We want some mining sound. So that's So that's that. That's the task at hand. And probably get get a sleeping sound over here, right? When you click a 10, right? Guy sleeps. All right, so that's that. overall everything is working. Building, okay, so building, all right, we already managed to change the tree house, which is nice. Yeah, the combat side, you know what, this is done already. Probably I just we need to have a few sound as well, so I'm gonna slowly catalog some of them. All right, I'm gonna bring out the what do you call this, my Discord, and we're gonna catalog. Okay, so we have, oh yeah, I'm just gonna let it play. Okay, main game is done. Game mechanic is done. Right, it's done. Review of the main game mechanic. Main game mechanic review is done. Is done. All right. Task. All right. So next task is what we're gonna do is task. New task. No, remaining task. Okay. Combat. We need audio. So what audio do we need? We need attack audio, combat audio. Come on. Do we need any art? No. So we only need a attack audio. We need 3 attack audios because we got 3 different attacks in a way. So 3, and then we need a KO audio, or yeah, no. All right, done. That's 1. Okay, so next up, what we want to do, main. All right, so 5, 10. Oh, not enough resources. No, I forgot to do. Okay. Main stage, we need our backdrop. I keep reminding myself to make a backdrop. Never came into fruition, so I need to task myself for that. Main, I'm gonna call it main island. Visual, we need a backdrop. We definitely need 2 buildings, so we're gonna do this. What type of building can we build? One is HP, one is mood. So HP, because on one end I want to put like at least a gym equipment over there, like a bench press or a boxing sandbag. And then I want to put an animation. So when you click, when the building is built, the avatar can walk over to that building and kind of interact with it. Ooh, okay. You know what? For now, let's keep it simple. Let's put for a swing for HP. You know, a swing for mood. Okay, swing. I'm gonna call this modeling. And then for HP, let's make a pot. Yeah, a pot of like a pot of stew, a cooking pot. All right, cooking pot for HP. Yeah, all right, cool. Because for the cooking pot, at least I can do a little bit on like effects and whatnot. So that's that. We need audio as well. Okay, so audio for the main island is a little bit much simpler. We don't really, we only need selection audio. Audio selection, item selection, and building. Okay, I think that's that. That's it for you. For farming. The mini game audios. No, instead yeah. Mini game or no, mini game visual first. Minigame visual, we need a farming tile. And then minigame audio. Oh, farming tile and camp. Yep. So we want wood chopping, harvesting, and last but not least, mining. And then bonus is a sleeping sound. And that's it. And that's it. All right. So as of today, well, technically as of Tuesday, but let's put it this way: as of today, the game mechanic is done. There will not be any more or little to no coding involved for the stream. That makes me a little sad because it's a bit hard to present the game development in a way. So everything will go back to normal. 1 hour stream time. Yeah, because we really nailed what we need to do last week already. So everything is done. So that's good. That's good. Very, very happy. Very stoked about it. We will definitely have a version 1 release by the end of the year. I think we are right on track. It's mid-October, third week of, is it third week of October already? Mid of October. So we have 2 weeks plus 2 months to get all the audio and the visual out. Yes, we can do it. All right, that's all I have for you for today. Again, it is a very loaded topic for the day because one of the things is I need to gear up for next year if I were to continue the Web3 game development project. I have 1 or 2 things that I have in mind and I would like to execute them. And that's the reason why we need to at least have a talk, a chit chat about it. So, with that, for those who are watching on Twitch or Kick, I wish you good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night wherever you are. Have a nice day, my friends. Stay safe. Until then, I will see you guys same time, same place, 9 p.m. PT time. Every Tuesday and Thursday, only on Twitch and Kick. Until then, I will see you guys, my friend. Have a nice day. And for those who are watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and help this channel grow. Alright. Alright. See ya. Oof. Yeah. Loaded topic.